words.
Le touche,
One
motherfucker. The math
word.
is the math.
The meaning of life. Yeah. Let's go. Previously on Kimba TV. I don't know how many times I said this yesterday, but I asked everybody, hey, if you're in a short from here, if you're in a short from here, if you're in a short from here, where's your stop loss? Because as soon as you have candle closes above this line, it's gonna cascade up. I don't know if you remember me saying that. I said it all those times here. I said, wait for candle closes, because as soon as you get a candle close, it's gonna run stops. All right, how we doing? All right, 7 minutes left. We're gonna have a gap. Right off the rip. Where is settlement again? If it comes back down to a settlement, I think that's a long. We're gonna have a gap. Yeah, so I think I'll try to long settlement if it does like a smaller time frame trident. Those are gonna get clean. So like something like this would be nice. Clean that. Yeah, I mean, it's the same as yesterday. I'll take a swing fail at the bottom and I'll take a swing fail at the top. And then I guess in retail arena, in this little tiny thing, I would probably see if settlement holds. Other than that, we've got the RTH gap. Okay, awesome. So I am ready. Let me know if you guys have any questions, but I don't want to get too carried away. It is Friday, so a little bit of a shorter stream today. Got a little bit of a flight. Oh, still a little bit sleepy. I got to get this caffeine in me. Happy Friday, Guido. Thomas, what's going on? Berbezi, what's going on? All right, let's do it, Lions. Yeah, so I'm ready if it wants to go sweep. I mean, there's so many bad lows and bad highs, and it's just contracting, you know? So I don't want to get too got. You know what I mean? I don't want to get too got. Swing fail, that would kind of be an easy short. Obviously, we want to take that high, but that's today's Friday, so. US 30 says, let's wait till Monday for all-time high. Yeah, but it could happen today. I mean, like crazy scenario today, because you got to think about everything. Crazy scenario would be a bank, you know, and like Papank. You could go both ways, Papank. Yeah, especially like if you lose that, so you can't lose that. Yeah, but I'm ready for both, whatever it wants to do. Yeah, my main focus is I'm not going to get got. So we've got a scalp opportunity. If it does pull back, probably try to look for a long around settlement or value area low. If it goes up before, then we're going to be looking for like SFP. We got naked point of control with 1.25 and obviously the high. So a swing fail for that. I'm ready. Swing fail for that. I'm ready. Swing fail for down here. I'm ready. Any questions? Swoley says, why are we looking at S&P? Just like common sense, basically. It's what you should be doing. S&P, traditional markets, is always going to dictate like the risk appetite. Are people risk on, risk off? Yeah, so you always want to be looking at traditional markets to kind of get sentiment. Sounds good, Swoley. Let's get it. Bing. Let's go. Let's go. Any questions? For weed, you good? Kiltrosity says, I'm all in. Don't go all in, but the math is the math. Time Raccoon, did you take the tip dip? Yep. Yeah. And obviously that's TP1, TP2 is that high right there, TP3 is right there, and then TP4 would be all-time high. So same as always. And how about that VWAP? Y'all fucking with that VWAP? That's why, like, when you play the RTH gap and go, VWAP is such a great place to use as like your marker for your stop loss. All right. We're ready for everything, I think. Make sure you get caught up on the recap from this morning. Valorous says, is it wrong to be in a long? It would be wrong if you don't put stop loss and profit. So whether you're longing or shorting, you can't lose, right? Sounds good? Everybody should have stop loss and profit, whether it's a long or a short. Don't get got like yesterday. Yeah! Thera says, Kimba, reject from value area high, so welcome to value area long, so easy. Yes, but more importantly than rejecting from value area high, it has now collectively left a really poor high. So that's what makes the settlement or value area low long even more confluencing. And actually, in this case, you probably don't want to long value area low right away. You want to wait for the reaction. So it's going to be like a 1 minute, 3 minute trident. Okay, and so you want to be smart enough to not put blind limits here. You might want to see the deviation and then get back in. So it means that it gets lost. It should look something like this on the smaller time frame if the long is going to work. All right, my boy. But yeah, you would want to see a deviation outside of value just like that. Okay, and this obviously has to be quick. Sparky says value area high is not lost yet. 4 minutes until 30-minute close. Yeah, that's correct. But you know, the probability that it's going to be lost is like, I don't know, 66% or something like that. Yeah. So you did not want to be spending so much time below or around the previous high. Okay, so if you were going to be able to break value area high, and this is kind of like where some people might be like, yo, why didn't you wait for the 30-minute candle close? Well, if you were going to be able to break above, then you would be building value closer to value area high, not the previous high. Yeah, so you got a little bit of work to do. You are correct. There's still 3 minutes and 15 seconds left. But this is one of those where like you're counting down the minute, you know, like where is the value being built? So you can go to like 5 minute, maybe even like 3 minute to be honest. And you're basically trying to make sure that you build value above the previous high or below. So that's how you can kind of front run the 30-minute candles sometimes. Sounds good? And it's like as soon as I said that, it bounced back outside, right? Sparky is asking, now that we are spending more and more time below the value area high, this increases the chance of a full rotation, right? No, not necessarily. Would you prioritize that over S&P confluence? So let's say that you said that, but S&P is bullish like this. You also see there's bad highs right there. Like these are all going to get swept at some point. You know that, right? Yeah, so it depends on like just that one thing, sure. But you got to take all of the data into context. Yeah, what I wouldn't really make any sort of conclusion because, for example, you're making higher highs and higher lows as you approach value area high. Right? Dink. Dink, 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 dink. So what about structure? Yeah, so just one thing is probably not the best to make a conclusion like that. You need S&P to go back down if Bitcoin's going to go back down. The problem is all those highs are garbage. And so it's going to really pull the price to clean all of that. All right, and same to the downside too. Obviously, we're closer to the highs right now, so yeah, it's tricky, especially on a Friday, Sparky. I would probably say no. All right, still inconclusive, but that's the way that I would have you think about it. Is what things are you going to prioritize? Some people are going to say, well, this is the sweep. You know, so this is the third 30-minute candle close below the sweep level. You know, where do you prioritize that? For me, I would say if you're bullish or bearish on a Friday like today, do you know that a lot of people are placing bets for FOMC? Brother, a lot of people are placing bets for Wednesday and Thursday and Friday next week. Yeah, so that's the way that I would go about it, Sparky. Sounds good? For me, like there's a couple of easy trades. One is the RTH gap, right? Dip your toes in. You see how this is the open, right? You see how it dipped your toes in and then it went? So, you know, if you longed and that's your first TP1, like we talked about, obviously, and then stop loss and profit somewhere, wherever you think is appropriate, right? Me, I would love that. All right. So I'm waiting for getting out of range anyway for now. Gotcha. Sparky, tell me exactly what you're trying to do. Are you trying to long? Are you trying to short? If you just tell me like what you're looking for, I can probably answer your questions in a better context. Yeah, but regardless of like the situation right now, when you ask me a question like that, I'm always going to kind of answer it in a generic way. So S&P Confluence is probably the #1 thing for today. All right, Sparky. I get you. Let me know if you have any questions. Jeremy Nagstone says Trump just hit 7.5 just like on Tuesday. Yeah, we've already done TA on Trump. So make sure you rewind and get caught up. Okay, I'm ready for that thing. Let's go, Lions. The math is the math. Bugama's updated. Nice. Yeah, but it hasn't. So it's just standard distribution. So it's still 61.45, right? So 61.45 and 60.95 still. It's just standard distribution now. So Altcoin Poppy is asking Kim, but spending too much time in this area plus OI going up, does this mean a higher probability for a breakup and clean those bad highs? No, it's all going to be up to S&P, brother. Okay, as long as S&P can make a higher high, sure. It can't get rejected at the Kimba box. But yeah, if S&P can go, it can go. The problem, like your question was, specifically in reference to open interest going up, right? Do you know how much open interest is going up by? Do you know that there's almost zero volume? Like the markets are really slow and there's low liquidity today. It's like people aren't really placing bets, and or everybody's bets are already placed, you know? And that's, I think, what it is. So we're looking for a breakout basically. And since it's a Friday, you know, it might not be as strong of a conviction, which is why I'm looking for an SFP. So I'm ready for an SFP if it goes down, and I'm ready for an SFP if it goes up. But considering that there's very low bets being placed, it's probably just going to be one of those Fridays where either the longers or the shorters are going to get squeezed. No, I'm okay. You don't want anything now? Yeah, I'm okay. Thank you, baby. Yeah, and on a Friday, altcoin poppy is the last day that you would want to do this. Is it higher probability to do this? Yes or no? Yeah, so if S&P is going to go up, we going to go up. If S&P is going to go down, we going to go down. And it probably won't really matter who's trapped or if there's divs, or just because on CME, like, it's very, very, very low volume. Nobody is placing bets. All right. Crypto Man XC says, is this real? No, I am just a figment of your imagination. You guys okay? Yeah. So altcoin poppy, I would just, I mean, regardless of the scenario, at some point, all of those bad highs are going to get swept, right? This whole collection is fucked. This whole collection is a poor high, right? The all-time high wasn't set during RTH, right? So whether it's, bank or bank, I'm ready. Whether it's bank, especially like if this is like a thing, like that would be really simple, right? Or even like a single print grab. But I doubt we're gonna, you already bounced off of VWAP, so going back down and losing VWAP would be bearish. So it's not like, you can't really be waiting down there hoping to long anymore. Yeah, but like you can see, like all this shit is bad. It's poor, poor, poor. So, brah. Or maybe it's just brah. Hard to say. Yeah. But stay safe, ladies and gentlemen. Freestyle JT is asking, is it a bearish weekend? I don't know. I mean, like, for example, like on Trump coin, you know what I'm going to be doing, right? Regardless of if it's a weekend or not. So I'm going to be waiting for structure. I'll be keeping an eye on open interest. Yeah, this is what I would say, JT. Just make up your mind on whether you would still validate a trade and a setup if the edge shows up on a weekend. For me, I'm already planning all of the positions that I get into today and before and until maybe like Tuesday morning is all going to be for FOMC. I'm going to try to front run FOMC. So worst case scenario, if FOMC just has a crazy pump or a crazy dump, then I get stopped out in profit. But hopefully I have the right bet going into it. So whether it's the weekend or whether it's on Monday or whether it's Tuesday, it'll all be for the Wednesday play for FOMC. Yeah. So, like it is funny that Trump is talking about, bringing in executive orders and blah, 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 right? Do you want to hang out? And I might be able to kick it. I keep getting like, the stink eye from Baby Girl, but I'm pushing it a little bit. I might be able to kick it until like 10, 15 minutes before the weekend. But CME is running right now, right? So this is important right now. Trump signing in crypto-friendly executive orders and blah, blah, blah. And then Jerome Powell, interest rates cut, cheap money flowing down into retail hands. Right? The narrative is obvious, right? On the fundamentals and on the higher time frame, but let's just be aware, okay? How funny would it be? Because if we're at 115 and he cuts rates, I'm shorting that bitch. And at the same time, like if we're around 85 or 78 or 70 and we have a massive nuke, I'm longing that bitch. All right. Krista says 0% he cuts rates. Do I really need interest rates to be cut? It would be nice, but do you know what the two magic words that I need to come out from him are? It's not really so much about the rate cuts per se, but I want him to say two fucking magical words. QE? Nah. Kachashibaya! Basically the Korean version of QE, all right? Yeah. So you guys know what it is. And even if he says those words, do you know how we can look at the data and quantify it to see if it actually is working and liquidity is flowing down? FedNet liquidity, Bugatti. Yeah, but I don't know if you're in the Discord VIP, but I actually gave out a bunch of altcoin long areas that I would be looking at. So Fred, whether it's like, you know what, like whether it goes to 107 while CME is open right now and actually does an SFP before the weekend, whether we leave that poor high later for some sort of 101.055 SFP or settlement 103.415 long, that long that we were talking about this morning. Isn't it crazy to think that the 0.58 and the 6.6 is pixel perfect in between the box that we had this morning? Kind of blows my mind a little bit. Yeah, so I mean, I know what the levels are, and I know I have a pretty good idea of what it means to look bullish at those levels. And so even if it's the weekend, just to kind of wrap it up, brother, I'm taking shots. All right, and I'll probably just take one or two. Yeah, I mean, even this one is easy. I would be looking for like smaller time frame failed trident, right? So what I can do is I can kind of like set a zone in and go in on the smaller time frame or whatever. And if I get exactly what I want, then I've got multiple bullish retests that I can try to get in on. And basically this is the threshold, maybe this. So I'd be willing to chase it maybe all the way to 0.5, but after 0.5, there's no more. I missed it. Again, we're looking out for things like that. So probably not this during the weekend, but this is possible. Yeah, but like it would be really nice to either do this or do this in the next 48 minutes. Because if it does it while CME is still active, we know where the gap could start from if it pumps from there or dumps from there. But we can trust the CME move. So, okay. Yeah, but I don't know if I can stay for the whole hour, but all right, freestyle JT. And then as always, I don't know if you trust it that much, but assuming that Bugemas are helping you out, if you have no trades on Saturday or you get round tripped on Saturday, if you have nothing starting Monday morning, at least you can start thinking about, am I going to play the RTH, yes or no? Some of you guys know that you want to try or play it, but you just need to really make sure you know what the invalidation is. Are you going to wait and jump in on the 30-minute, the first one, or are you going to wait for the second one to confirm, etc.? Are you going to market smash or look for a bullish retest? Make sure you guys can identify the difference between RTH VWAP and ETH VWAP. So that was ETH. RTH. So RTH is going to have it paused bouncing off of that. So it's at like 104. What is it? 105, 175. Yeah, but to keep it super simple, JT, and everybody else wondering, if it's a dead ass obvious CVD bear div, open interest indicating shorts got stopped out, top longs are trapped, swing fail pattern, I'm probably in that short, and it's just a matter of, was I patient enough or was the edge good enough to just market smash at the SFP level, right? Or did I get in at the 7.5? Because now it's a little bit different because like if you clean that, then you can do a swing fail. And since it's not like a shitty, since it's not like a shitty high over there, like this is an area where I might take the 7.5. But either way, the stop loss is going to be a higher high, And then if this comes back down and like it does something like this, I will probably try to take a long. It just depends on, you know, is the Wi-Fi, how good is the plain Wi-Fi type of shit. Yeah. And then obviously the gap is down there. And then remember, you can't lose that. That would be really shitty to lose. So it would be funny to like swing fail, have a really nice recovery, bing bong, basically like bing bong ding dong the whole weekend, this range. Fuck are you? Fuck are you, retail? You know, and maybe you get a deviation down here, maybe you get a deviation up here, but all in all, you're just gonna get got. Fuck! Yeah, so just stay safe, but I'm not gonna be scared of, silence him! Silence him! He's giving away our game plan. What the fuck? What the fuck? Why does this guy always know? I'm just kidding. I don't. Longers, I'm rooting for you. Shorters, I'm rooting for you. Bulls, bears, we're all lions. Root for each other, help each other out. Exclamation Discord. Exclamation YouTube. Sato, tell them what happens if they don't use stop loss.